Hello guys, you're welcome to my channel. I still remain your teacher's best man. My name is AY and I'm always the guy teaching you AI. But today I would like us to learn something new. I believe we all have heard of Gemini AI. It's an AI machine that is created by the famous Google, and I can assure you teachers can use this AI to perform marvelous things in the classroom. Today we'll be talking on how you can use the Gemini AI to create a very interesting story using your lesson note. In other words, you can convert whatsoever thing you're teaching into story that your pupils can learn and even read. You can keep it at the corner of your classroom in case they want to revise a particular topic. They can use this story to understand what has been taught. So right now I'll be going into the video and I'll show us how we can convert our lessons into interesting stories that will fascinate our young learners. Okay, join me in the video. Okay, so join me as we go straight into the video. And please don't forget to like my videos and also subscribe to my channel so that you can be getting more and more updates like this that will help you improve your delivery in your classroom and make your lessons highly fascinating and interesting to your pupils. Without so much waste of time, I'm going to connect my laptop to the internet. Never forget, you can't do anything without connecting it to the internet. So I'm going to type Gemini AI. You can see it's already there. So it's not something you can now go and start searching over and over again. You click on it. I would advise you log in using your email and create a password for yourself. As you can see, I'm already logged in, so I don't need to log in again. Beside here is an upgrade tab for those of us that want to use a paid version of the application. But most people use the free version. What I'm going to teach today involves you using the free version. You can see on our left hand side here, we have some tabs. It is the tab for opening a new chat. This is for searching for a chat, maybe a chat that you've made some time ago. You want to go back to it. Maybe there's a lesson note you created and you like to go back to it to do one thing or the other. You can search for it here. Then we have a library, which is a collection of the things you've been doing on this application. Then here is the gems. I call them Gemini gems. Also, we have something like this in your ChatGPT, because the ChatGPT, your Gemini, your Claude, all these AIs are kind of similar in some ways. We call them LLMs, large language models. So here we have, for the ChatGPT, we call them GBTs. These are small AI agents that you can create for yourself. You're going to be the one to feed it with your own details, your own information, and you prompt it based on what you fed it with. But we're not going into that today. Then here are the things that I've done. You can see I've done a lot of things here. But this is where we are going to. We're talking about how to turn our lesson notes into a very interesting story for our pupils to read. Children love stories a lot, and when they see stories accompanied by pictures, it will fascinate them and also help some learners that are, pictorial learners to grab whatsoever concept that you've been talking about. So I'm going to click the gems now. Click on gems. You can see it's going to show you some things here to build AI apps, from Google Labs and all that. We're not going into this today. We'll go straight to where we have gem managers. The gem manager is where we're going to click on a particular gem that can enable us create a story book. Okay, so you can see we have storybook, we have coding partner, we have chess champ, we have brainstormer. There's so many of it. If you want to see more of it, you can click on show more. You're going to see different types of gems. And at this point is where all the gems that you've created will be stored. Any gem you create will be stored in this particular section. So I'm going to click on storybook now. Okay, so these are some storybooks that people have created. Create a customized picture book for either children or adults, given a topic, an optional target audience, age, and an optional art style for the images. All these are templates that you can follow. You click on any of them, you can use the format and create your own. But right now, we're not going to click on any of this. Rather, we're going to create our own from the start. So we're going to create, let me go to our ChatGPT. Like I said, I want to create it from the start. No, I'm not going to use ChatGPT. ChatGPT is too common. I'm going to use DeepSeek. I believe most people are not used to this particular AI, but I must tell you this AI is also good for creating lesson notes, lesson plans, questions, different things, rubrics, and making researches. And one amazing thing is that the majority part of it is free, so you can do a lot of things on it with the free version. Okay, so I'm going to say create a lesson notes for me. Remember our prompting rule, we call it clear. Context, learner level. Create a lesson note for a year 2 pupil on the year 2 pupil in so I like using weather in science on the topic weather. Sorry. Make it interesting and use simple language that the pupils can relate with. Okay, so I said create a lesson note for a year 2 pupil in science on the topic weather. Now you have to give it a context and give it a class. So when you say year 2, it knows, okay, talking of children between the ages of 6 to 7 years. Make it interesting and use simple language that the pupils can relate with. Then I'm going to say go on. So you can see it's going to give us a well-detailed lesson notes, learning objectives, keywords, what is weather, all the different things to, fun activities and the rest, home task and the rest. But right now, I'm just going to pick the central part of this lesson, which will be from let's learn about weather. So I'm going to pick from this place. I'm going to highlight this place, because this is where the main lesson starts. How weather changes our day. Okay, no, I don't want to pick the fun activities. Weather helps us choose what to do. Okay, so I'll just stop here. Now right click, I'll copy, I'll open my Word. Okay, so I want to create a document that I can feed to my gem so that I can use it to create a very interesting story for me. Okay, I think this is something I didn't save. Okay, I don't need this. Sorry. Okay, Word. I don't want this video to be very long because I want something that you can watch and learn as fast as possible. Because people these days have what we call a short attention span. People have so many things to do. Okay, so you can see here we have what is weather. Close your eyes and think when you wake up in the morning and look out of the window. So it's trying to relate the concept of weather to what the children are familiar with. Okay, so I can convert this now. I'm going to save it. I just put it as weather lesson. Weather lesson. Okay. So I'll go back to my Gemini now. I'll click on my Gemini. So you can see this plus icon here. This is the icon that you use for uploading things from your computer memory. You can see we have upload files. You can add files from Drive. You can go to maybe gallery. You can use Notebook LLM. I'm going to teach how to connect the Notebook LLM and the Google Gemini together in one of my videos. That is why I said you should subscribe to my channel so that you can get my regular updates, because I'll be teaching so many deep things that we can use in the classroom. Okay, so where did I save it? No. Okay, so I didn't check. Say whether I didn't think I saved it here. Sorry, let me check where I saved it. Let me resave it somewhere else. Save as. I didn't really look at where I saved it the other time. I'm going to save it on documents. Okay, weather lesson. Okay, so now I've saved it on my document. I'll just go, like I said, you click on this plus icon, takes you to inside your computer. You click on upload files if you want to upload from your desktop or anywhere on your computer. Click on document. can see it here, weather lesson. So I'm going to click open. So you can see my file has been uploaded here. So what I need to do now is to write a prompt. Please go back to my video on prompting so that you can learn how to write a prompt, because the clearer your prompt, the better your result. So I'm going to say create an interesting story using the create an interesting story for a year 2 pupil on weather using the attached document. Make the characters colorful and the story fascinating. So use simple language that the pupils can relate to. Okay, you can see now, create an interesting story for a year 2 pupil on weather using the attached document. This attached document. Make the characters colorful and the story fascinating. Use simple language that the pupils can relate to. So now I'll just upload. So it's going to take you some time. Although this particular feature of Gemini is still a work in progress, because sometimes the characters may not match the gender in the story, whereby they might be talking a he and then the picture might be showing a she. But it's something you can still do a follow-up prompt. Like I said in my previous video on prompting, sometimes the first prompt that you give may not be the accurate prompt. So your results may be tampered with or may not be as accurate as you want. So what you should do is to give what we call a follow-up prompt that will help to adjust whatsoever output the AI will give you. Okay, so here is our story. Okay, you can see here The Weather Friends by Paul Ayo. Can you see? It has turned it into a book. You can make it to read by itself. You can read for your pupils. You can download. You can enlarge. You can see here, if I click, the book opens. You can see it opens. When the sun comes down, can you see? It turns the whole thing into a story that the children can read and remember what was said about that lesson. Okay, so I'm going to make it to read by itself. So let's pay attention now. So you click on listen. So the AI will generate a voice to read the storybook.
The Weather Friends. Close your eyes and think. When you wake up in the morning and look out the window, what do you see? Is there a bright sun or gray clouds? Is the wind blowing the trees? That is the weather. Weather is what is happening in the sky and the air around us. It changes almost every day, and it helps us choose what to wear and what to do. When the sun is smiling down, we meet Sunny Sam. It feels very warm or even hot on days like this. Sam knows just what to do. He puts on his favorite sunglasses and a cool cap to stay safe from the bright light. He also makes sure to put on plenty of sunscreen so his skin doesn't get too red. Sunny weather is the best time for playing outside. Sam loves to go to the park when the grass is dry and the sky is blue. He meets his friend Clara to play football. They wear shorts and t-shirts to stay cool while they run around, and they always remember to drink lots of water to stay hydrated. Sometimes the weather changes and water falls from the clouds. Pitter-patter, pitter-patter. This is rainy weather, and Rainy Rita loves it. Everything gets wet and the air smells fresh. Rita puts on her thick raincoat and pulls on her shiny yellow rain boots to stay dry. Rainy days are full of splashing fun. Rita grabs her big umbrella and goes outside to find the biggest puddles she can. She meets Will, and together they jump high and land with a splosh. Even though it is wet, they stay warm in their coats and have a wonderful time in the rain. On other days, the sun goes for a nap. This is cloudy weather. The sky looks gray or white because the sun is hiding behind the big fluffy clouds. Our friend Cloudy Clara likes these days. It might feel a bit cool outside, so it is a good time to slow down and enjoy the quiet. When it is cloudy and cool, Clara likes to stay inside where it is cozy. She invites Sam over to her house. They sit at the big kitchen table to read books or draw colorful pictures of the sun. It is the perfect weather for using your imagination while staying warm and dry indoors. Can you hear that whistling sound? That is the air blowing hard. Windy Will loves it when the wind makes the leaves dance across the ground. The wind can make your hair fly all around your face. Because the wind can feel a bit chilly, Will always zips up his warm jacket before he goes out. Windy weather is the very best time to fly a kite. Will heads to a big, open field with Rita. They watch as the wind catches the kite and carries it high up into the sky. They have to hold onto the string very tightly so the wind doesn't whisk the kite away. Whether it is sunny, rainy, cloudy, or windy, every day brings a new adventure. The weather is always changing, and that is what makes our world so interesting. So tomorrow morning, look out your window. What will the weather be like today? What will you wear, and who will you play with?
See, that is a very, very interesting story that the children can read and understand everything you said about weather. After teaching them the normal lesson, you can use this to drive home your point, and I can assure you they will never forget. And like I said, you can also download this. All you need is to click on this download icon here. You can see it's going to take a moment and it will be downloaded into your computer. Like I said earlier on, this tool is free. You don't have to pay for it. So it's something you can use at any time you want. I would advise teachers to start using this. Like I tell people, gone are the days a teacher is just somebody that writes on the board and talks and goes. Now you must learn to be a content creator for your pupils to understand your lesson adequately and perfectly. So imagine this being introduced into your lesson for the day. The children will be anxious to you know hear whatsoever thing you have to say and also read the story. So when you download this story, you can go and print it out on an A4 paper and staple it together and keep it in your corner, in your class corner, so that your pupils can go back to it and read and remember whatsoever thing you said about a particular topic. You can see it's downloaded. It's downloaded here. Okay, so you can print it for your pupils to, let me check my folder and see the download properly. So you can see weather friends. As I open it, you can see it here now. It's downloaded into my computer. So all you need is to print this out on an A4 paper and fold it into two and staple it. It becomes a perfect storybook that you can put at your learning corner, and your pupils can always go back to it to read, to remember whatsoever thing they've been taught. Okay, so that is all about this video. Like I said, I don't want it to be long, so I advise you subscribe to my channel, you tell other teachers about my channel, because they're going to be getting a lot of ideas on how to introduce AI into their curriculums and into their classroom. Like I said, gone are the days the teacher is just a write and talk person. Now you must be a good content creator. And I believe soon schools will start looking out for this. When you go for interviews, they're going to ask you, how good are you with AI? What kind of AI can you use to prepare lessons, to prepare, content that will drive home your lesson? So like I said, my name is AY, and I'm always a guy teaching you AI. Subscribe to my channel. I'm your teacher's best man. See you again in another video. Bye.